Okay, so this video is about the new feature of Pro version 5.4. We call it the bi-directional data syncing. And it only works, just want to clarify, this only works for Password Manager data. Password Manager or Password Manager Pro data. Oh, by the way, we don't call it Password Manager Pro anymore. We call it Password Manager Administration Tools. Back to the old name. So no more Pro, Password Manager Pro. This bidirectional data sync only work for the Password Manager data. So any changes you do on the templates, on the data, they will be synced up. And I know we call it bidirectional, but it's not really, technically it's not bidirectional at the same time. I mean, we only sync one way from the server to the workstation, or the other way from the workstation to the server. One direction at a time. And this feature really came up for people who make changes to their password manager data while on a business trip. They're not connected to the company domain, or they're at home, they made some changes, and then they connect to the company domain either using VPN, or when they go back to the company, all the changes they made are lost because in the past the server data will override the local data. But with this new feature, all the new data that they have changed will be updated, will be synced up to the server. Okay, I'm now going to show you how this works. So in this Pro machine, I have trained an application called CPP Login. You can do this with anything trained. It could be an IE, it could be a web logon. But in this demo, I'm going to use an application just because it's easier. Right now, it's connected to the domain, and I'm going to launch it. This template actually has the authenticate immediately turned on. That's why you see this. And I'm going to put my finger and log in. And this is my current username. Mike old. I'm not really old, just the username is the old username. Okay. Can I say okay? Okay, now this is all one camera shot, so no tricks. I'm gonna disconnect the network to simulate the the person going home or when he's away from the company network. As you can see, network is disconnected, and Citrix is already complaining. Back to the application, I can launch it. So now I'm off the network. I'm not talking to the Pro server. When I put my finger, of course, it still remember the old data. But now I'm going to change it. Okay. Just going to do right click. It says edit logon. And I'm going to change it from Mike old to Mike new. Okay. So of course right now this is all locally. You see it works. Mike new. And the trick now will be I'm going to connect the network now. Wait, I'm going to do one more step, sorry. In addition, not just modifying, but if you had added a new account, it would also work. I'm going to do an add logon. I'm going to do, second account. Just type anything there. So not only I modify one account, I added a new account to this template. Just want to make sure it works. Yep, I can choose the second account. Okay, so all this is done when the network is disconnected. I'm gonna connect the network now. Okay. Now you're wondering, when does the sync occur? Well, actually, the sync doesn't occur right away after you connect the network. This is just not the way it works. Actually, this is not how Microsoft works. What happened is, any data that was changed while you were disconnected, would not be, upsync until you log off, log in, or you do a lock and unlock. Okay. If I use it now, you will see that it will show me the new data, but this is still using the local new data. Okay, so that still doesn't mean that it has been synced. It's still using the new data because we kept the new data locally, and it's still using that. And this is already a change from Pro 5.3. In Pro 5.3, the new data will be wiped out by now. Okay, any new data is gone. But in 5.4, after you connect network, you still can use the new data. It's still local, and the sync only happens if you log off or lock and unlock. So I'm just going to do a lock and lock. I add the shift finger. Is it locked? I'm going to unlock it. So now I know the data has been synced to the server. And you can probably not tell from this machine, but if you could go to a different machine, which I have right next to it, this machine was connected, belonged to the same domain, and it was connected to the domain all the time. If I can come here and run the CPP login, it will show me the new data. Then I know that for sure the data has been synced. So for this demo purpose, let's try it here. This is actually a kiosk machine, by the way, just to show you that this also works in kiosk. This is a kiosk machine and has been connected to the domain all this time. So if I run the CPP login, I expect it to use the new data now because it has been synced. Okay, so since this is a kiosk, I need to enter my username. I'm just going to use the password here. As you can see, I got the 2 new accounts. And if I try this new, it's going to fill in my username, new. So I know now the data bi-directional sync is working, and this demo is done. By the way, it's all one camera shot. There's no trick, no editing. Well, actually, I want to stress a couple more things out before the end of the demo. First, again, this works. It does not work for fingerprints. So this bi-directional sync will not work for fingerprint data or any of the credentials. Secondly, this sync is actually it's not intelligent. It's not going to compare when's the latest time, or doesn't check for dates, which data is newer, which data is older. It doesn't do any kind of merge of data. Basically, it just overrides. When the workstation is syncing up with the server, everything in the workstation will override what's on the server. And when the server is syncing with the workstation, everything on the server will be put in the workstation and overwritten. So there's no merge. Thank you.